Shinai is a weapon used for practice and competition in kendo, representing a Japanese sword. Shinai are also used in other martial arts, but may be styled differently from kendo Shinai and represented with different characters. Shinai should not be confused with bokken, or wooden swords. History. The earliest use of a bamboo weapon to train with instead of a sword is credited to Kama Izumi Nobutsuner of the Shinkaju. The modern Shinai, with 4 slats of bamboo, is generally credited to Nakanishi Chazo Sugutate of Nakanishi Harito-yu. The Shinai was developed in an effort to reduce the number of practitioners being seriously injured during practice, making a practice weapon that was less dangerous than Bakato, the hard wooden swords they were previously using. This is also the motivation behind the development of bogu, the armor that protects the kendoka. Etymology. The word Shinai is derived from the verb shinao, meaning to bend, to flex, and was originally short for shinaite. Shinai is written with the kanji, meaning bamboo sword, and is an irregular kanji reading. In kendo, it is most common to use a single shinai, sometimes called ito style. Some kendoka choose to use 2 shinai. This kendo style is usually called nitu, a style that has its roots in the 2 sword schools of swordsmanship such as Hyoho Nit and Ichi-yu. A nita combatant uses a long shinai called the daito, which is usually held in the left hand, and a shorter shinai, called the shoto, which is usually held in the right hand. The daito may be slightly shorter and lighter than a shinai used in the ito style of kendo. Specifications for shinai used in kendo competitions that follow the International Kendo Federation rules are below. Construction, sizes and style of shinai vary. For example, an adult may be able to use a shinai that is too heavy for a younger person, so shinai with different sizes and characteristics are made. Shinai are available in many styles and balances. A shinai should not be confused with a bakato, which has a much more similar shape and length to a Japanese sword and is made from a single piece of wood. However, both shinai and bokken are used in kendo. The slats of a shinai are usually made from dried bamboo. Some may also be treated by smoking them or soaking them in resin. Shinai slats are also made of carbon fiber, reinforced resin, or other approved alternative materials. The shinai comprises 4 slats known as take, which are held together by 3 leather fittings: a hilt or handle fitting, a fitting at the tip, and a leather strip that binds the 4 slats. The parts are all secured with a string. The nakayui is tied about 1/3 of the length of the exposed bamboo from the tip. This holds the slats together and also marks the proper kendo striking portion of the shinai, or daito tsubu. Inserted between the ends of the slats, under the sakigawa, is a plastic plug sakigomu, and under the tsukigawa there is a small square of metal chigiri that holds the slats in place. A handguard tsuba is then fitted at the point where the tsukigawa ends and the bamboo slats begin. This is held in place by a rubber ring tsuba dome. Safety. Far from dangerous, a shinai is used as a practice sword in order to simulate the weight of a katana or a bokken without injuring the user of the target. The 4 slats tied together are specifically designed to reduce the force of impact of a blow. Upon hitting the target, the 4 staves flex and compact together, spreading the force of the blow over a longer period of time. This significantly reduces the harm it can impart on a target, leaving it worse to bruise even when wielded by the strongest users. Proper care. A shinai must be properly taken care of or it can pose a danger to both the user and the people around it. Shinai should be inspected for splinters and breaks before and after use, and maintained in a manner considered most appropriate by one's style, dojo, or sensei. Many people believe that oiling and sanding a shinai prior to its first use, and then periodically during use, can greatly extend its life. However, However, some disagreement exists on what is considered proper Shinai care. To properly inspect a Shinai, one first examines the area around the Daito-tsubu, inspecting all sides of the Shinai for splinters. This is very important, as bamboo splinters can easily cause injury. The sakigawa should be intact and the suru should be tight so that the sakigawa does not slip off the end of the Shinai during use. In addition, the nakayui should be tight enough as not to rotate easily. When not in use, Shinai used in kendo practice should be either laid on the floor or leant vertically against the wall, with the base of the handle on the floor and the tip leaning against the wall. This is because in kendo, the Shinai is treated as a substitute for a real sword and should be treated as if real. When a Shinai is placed on the floor, it is considered very poor etiquette to step over it. Regulations. In kendo competitions that follow the FIK rules, there are regulated weights and lengths for the use of Shinai. Shinai weighed complete with leather fittings, but without suba dome. The full length is measured. Maximum diameter of the suba is 9 centimeters. Shinai weighed complete with leather fittings, but without suba dome. The full length is measured. Maximum diameter of the suba is 9 centimeters. Fukuro Shinai. The ancestor of the modern kendo Shinai is the Fukuro Shinai, which is still in use in Koryu Kenjutsu. This is a length of bamboo, split multiple times on one end, and covered by a leather sleeve. This explains the name Fukuro, which means bag, sack or pouch. Sometimes the older and rarer kanji to is used, but has the same meaning as fukuro. Some schools cover the entire bamboo in the sleeve and add a suba, like Kashima Shindanjika Shinkaju does. In Shinkaju, the sleeve is lacquered kamakura red, and rather than covering the entire length, is tied off at the non-split end. This particular kind of Fukuro Shinai is also called the Haikihara or toad skin Shinai. The name comes from how the leather looks after lacquering. The sleeves are actually made of cow or horse hide. Other uses. Shinai are commonly used as a prop in professional wrestling, where they are often referred to as kendo sticks or incorrectly as Singapore canes. Wrestlers are typically struck across the back, stomach, legs and arms, though some are struck in the head or face. Sometimes, depending upon which wrestling promotion where the match is taking place.